The darkness of the void was absolute. The stars, once bright beacons of hope, had dimmed into cold, distant memories. Space had become an endless, oppressive silence, broken only by the hum of the ship's engines and the faint, omnipresent whir of the automated systems that kept the vessel alive. Captain Lorak, a seasoned Tavaran officer, stared at the ship's holomap, his tentacles twitching nervously. The galaxy had become a dangerous place, especially for those daring enough to venture into the unclaimed sectors. He knew this mission was reckless, but the Council had deemed it necessary. "Captain, we are approaching the coordinates," a voice crackled over the intercom. Lorak nodded, his four eyes narrowing as he focused on the looming shape that appeared on the map. The derelict. A colossal, ancient vessel drifting aimlessly for centuries, perhaps millennia. The stories surrounding it were legendary, whispers of forgotten technology, untold riches, and dangers that defied imagination. But one story stood out among them all, the reason why this mission was so crucial. The ship's original occupants were said to be humans. The very word sent a shiver down Lorak's spine. It had been centuries since the species had been declared illegal, their very existence wiped from the annals of interstellar history. The official records claimed it was for the galaxy's safety, for the stability of the Galactic Union. But the truth was far more sinister, and Lorak knew it. He had heard the stories, passed down in secret, like forbidden knowledge. "Commander Zek," Lorak called out. The towering Scar approached, his reptilian eyes gleaming with curiosity. "Have you ever encountered one?" "A human?" "No, Captain. Only heard the tales," Zek replied, his voice a deep, rumbling growl. "They say they were unstoppable." "They were," Lorak confirmed, "and that's why they're illegal." The ship's sensors pinged as they locked onto the derelict. The vessel was massive, larger than any Tavaran ship, and its design was distinctly alien, yet strangely familiar. The hull was scarred, pitted from countless battles, but it still radiated an aura of strength, a reminder of a time when it had ruled the stars. "Prepare the boarding team," Lorak ordered. "We're going in." The boarding party consisted of the best the Tavaran Empire had to offer: elite soldiers, engineers, and historians. They made their way through the eerie corridors of the derelict, the ship's ancient systems flickering to life as if sensing their presence. The deeper they went, the more uneasy they became. The ship was a tomb, yet it felt alive. Finally, they reached the ship's core, a massive chamber filled with alien machinery. In the center was a large, ominous-looking device, a containment unit of some kind. It was old, incredibly so, yet the power readings were off the charts. "Captain, I'm getting strange readings," one of the engineers reported. "This technology, it's advanced, far beyond anything we've seen." "What is it?" Zek asked, his hand resting on his weapon. The engineer hesitated, then spoke the words that sent a chill through everyone in the room. "I think it's a stasis pod." The room fell silent. A stasis pod, ancient and powerful, containing who knew what or who. Lorak stepped forward, his tentacles quivering. "Open it!" The engineers worked quickly, their movements precise and practiced. With a hiss, the pod slowly began to open. A cloud of vapor escaped, obscuring the figure within. When the mist cleared, there stood a being, tall and imposing, with pale skin and a mane of dark hair. It was humanoid, but there was no mistaking the truth. "It's a human," Zek breathed, his voice a mixture of awe and fear. The human slowly opened its eyes, looking around with an intensity that made even the hardened soldiers step back. Then it spoke, in a voice that was calm, yet filled with a quiet power. "Who are you?" the human asked, its gaze locking onto Lorak. "We are of the Tavaran Empire," Lorak replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "We found your ship. You've been in stasis for a long time." The human nodded slowly, as if processing the information. And the others? My people? Lorak hesitated. There are no others. Your kind. You were outlawed, declared too dangerous for the galaxy. The human's expression remained unchanged, but there was a flicker of something in its eyes. Sadness, perhaps, or resignation. I see. Why? Zek asked suddenly, unable to contain his curiosity. Why were humans made illegal? The stories say you were unstoppable. Is it true? The human turned its gaze to Zek, studying him for a long moment before answering. Yes, it's true. We are unstoppable, but not in the way you think. What do you mean? Lorak asked. The human sighed, a sound that was almost sorrowful. We were illegalized not because of our strength, but because of our adaptability, our resilience. The galaxy feared us because we could survive anything, thrive anywhere. We could learn, evolve, and overcome any obstacle. And that terrified them. But why? Lorak pressed. Why did they fear you so much? Because we were a threat to their control, the human replied. We didn't just conquer worlds, we changed them. We united species, ended conflicts, brought about advancements that others couldn't even dream of, and in doing so, we disrupted the balance of power. The Galactic Union saw us as a destabilizing force, a challenge to their authority. So they erased us, made us illegal. But the truth is, we were only doing what we do best, surviving, adapting, and pushing the limits of what's possible. The room was silent, the crew processing the human's words. Lorak felt a chill run down his spine. He had always known there was more to the story, but hearing it from a human, a living relic of the past, was something else entirely. What happens now? Zek asked, his voice barely a whisper. The human looked at him, a small, enigmatic smile forming on its lips. Now I find out what's left of the galaxy, and where I fit into it. With that, the human began to walk away, the crew parting to let it pass. As it moved through the corridors of the derelict, the ship seemed to come alive, its systems humming with renewed energy, as if recognizing its rightful master. Lorak watched it go, a sense of unease settling over him. The galaxy had forgotten about humans, buried their existence in lies and fear. But now, one had returned, and deep down, he knew this was only the beginning. For in the vast, unforgiving expanse of space, there was one truth that could not be denied. Humans, for better or worse, were unstoppable. And now they were back,